It's morning. You walk into the room with fresh hay, a small handful of pellets, and the greens your rabbit usually goes wild for. You set the bowl down. You wait for that familiar little run, the one where they almost trip over their own feet to get to the food. But this morning nothing happens. Your rabbit is sitting under the hide, quiet, still, not curious, not annoyed, just not coming. You glance at the litter box. Fewer poops than usual. The water bowl looks almost untouched. The hay from last night is barely disturbed, and something inside you tightens, because you can feel that this is not normal. If you've ever had this exact moment with your rabbit, I need you to listen closely. Because this is one of those situations where what you do in the next few hours actually matters. A rabbit who suddenly stops eating is not being picky. A rabbit who suddenly stops eating is sending you a signal, and it's a signal you do not want to misread. Let's talk about what's really happening. What to check first. And when this becomes the kind of moment where you stop watching and you start acting, here's the thing most new rabbit owners don't realize until it's almost too late. A rabbit's digestive system is built to be in motion almost constantly. Hay goes in, fiber moves through, droppings come out. And that rhythm is not optional. It's the engine that keeps a rabbit alive. When a rabbit stops eating, that engine starts to slow down. And once it slows down, it can be very hard to restart. This is part of why rabbit-savvy vets often warn owners that appetite loss in rabbits is treated very differently from appetite loss in a dog or a cat. A dog who skips breakfast is usually fine by dinner. A rabbit who skips breakfast and shows other quiet changes can be in real trouble before the day is over. You may have heard the term GI stasis. That's the shorthand for when a rabbit's digestive system slows down or stops moving, and it's considered a medical emergency. Not later. Not tomorrow. That day. I'm not saying every rabbit who turns down a snack is in stasis. That's not true, and I don't want to scare anyone. But I do want you to understand the stakes, because it changes how you respond. A rabbit's body is good at hiding pain and illness. They are prey animals. In the wild, looking sick gets you eaten. So by the time a rabbit visibly slows down, something has usually been going on for longer than you can see. That's why, the moment your rabbit walks away from food they normally love, your job changes. You stop assuming. You start checking. So let's talk about what to check first. Before you panic, before you Google 10 different things, before you offer a parade of treats trying to tempt them, pause. Take 90 seconds and look at the whole picture. The first thing I want you to check is the litter box. Not the food bowl, the litter box. Are there poops in there from the last few hours? How many? Are they normal-sized, round and dry? Or are they smaller than usual, misshapen, stuck together with hair, or barely there at all? Poop output is one of the clearest windows into a rabbit's gut. When a rabbit eats less, they poop less. When the gut slows down, the poops get smaller, drier, fewer. Sometimes they stop completely. A litter box that looks emptier than it should be is a real piece of information. Don't skip it. Next, check the water. Look at the bowl or bottle from last night. Is the level where you'd expect it to be by morning? Or does it look almost the same as when you filled it? A rabbit who has stopped drinking is in a more serious situation than a rabbit who has just slowed down on hay. Hydration matters enormously for gut movement, and a rabbit who refuses both food and water is sending a much louder signal than a rabbit who is only ignoring breakfast. You don't need to measure anything to the milliliter. You just need to know if it looks roughly normal or noticeably untouched. Now look at posture. A relaxed rabbit lies stretched out or sits in that loaf shape, with their feet tucked but their face calm. Ears might be soft. Eyes might be half closed. A rabbit in pain often looks different. They sit, hunched, tight, pressed against the floor. Their eyes can look squinted or strained. They may grind their teeth in a slow, heavy way. That is very different from the soft-toothed purr of a happy rabbit. Some rabbits in pain push their belly into the floor, or stretch out flat in a way that looks almost dramatic. Some retreat to the darkest corner they can find and refuse to move. If your rabbit is sitting in a position you don't usually see, that's data. Note the time. Note what you saw. Then very gently check the belly. You don't need to press, poke, or squeeze. Just rest your hand softly along the side of their body if they're calm enough to allow it. Does the belly feel tight, hard, or unusually bloated? Or does it feel soft and normal? A bloated, drum-tight belly in a rabbit who isn't eating is one of the more urgent pictures you can encounter. That is not a wait-and-see situation. That is a phone the rabbit-savvy vet now situation. If your rabbit flinches, grinds their teeth, or moves away when you touch certain areas, that matters too. Pain responses in rabbits are subtle. Don't talk yourself out of what you noticed. Finally, check energy. Is your rabbit moving around at all? Coming out for routine moments, a stretch, a hop, a curious sniff toward the door? Or are they parked in one spot, eyes half closed, refusing to engage? A rabbit who is not eating, and not moving, and not pooping, is showing you 3 signals stacked on top of each other. That picture is much more serious than any one of those signals alone. Once you've done that quick check, let's talk about what could actually be going on. Not so you can diagnose at home. You can't, and you shouldn't try. But so you understand why a vet visit is the right move. Stress is one common factor. New furniture. A new pet in the house. Loud construction. A move. A different person caring for them. Even a change in routine can throw a rabbit's appetite off in a way that surprises owners. Dental problems are another. Rabbit teeth grow continuously, and when they grow, unevenly eating becomes painful. A rabbit with dental pain may approach food, sniff it, even pick it up, and then drop it. That picking up and dropping pattern is something rabbit-savvy vets often want to know about. Diet changes can also trigger trouble. A sudden switch in pellets, a new green they aren't used to, too many sugary treats, or not enough hay for several days in a row. Any of these can disrupt the gut. Pain from somewhere else in the body. A sore hock, an ear infection, an issue you can't see can also shut down appetite. Rabbits don't always tell you where it hurts, they just stop eating. And then there's the gut itself. When the digestive system slows or stops, the rabbit feels worse, which makes them eat even less, which makes the gut slow down even more. It becomes a spiral, and it can move faster than people expect. I'm not telling you this so you can play vet. I'm telling you this so you understand why. Let's see how she is in the morning. Can be the wrong answer with a rabbit. So here's the line I want you to draw in your head. If your rabbit has not eaten anything for around 12 hours, or has not pooped for around 12 hours, or is showing a hunched posture, a hard belly, tooth grinding, or a refusal to move, that is when you contact a rabbit-savvy vet, not a general clinic. A vet who specifically has experience with rabbits. That distinction matters more than people realize. Not every vet is experienced with rabbits. And rabbits are different enough from cats and dogs that the wrong advice or the wrong medication can actually make things worse. House Rabbit Society educators often emphasize finding a rabbit-savvy vet before you ever need one. Exactly. So you're not searching during an emergency. If it's after hours, call an emergency exotic clinic. If you don't know where one is, this is your sign to find that out today, while everything is calm. Save the number. Tape it to the fridge if you have to. I know this sounds intense, but this is the kind of intensity rabbits need from us. Because they will not advocate for themselves the way other pets do. They go quiet. They go still. And too many owners learn the hard way that quiet and still in a rabbit is not the same as fine. So before I let you go, here's what I want you to take from today. When your rabbit walks away from a meal they normally love, don't reach for a different treat. Don't assume they're being picky. Don't tell yourself they'll eat when they're hungry. Walk to the litter box first. Look at the water. Look at the posture. Feel the belly if your rabbit allows it. Watch the energy. If 2 or 3 of those things look off at the same time, that is not a moment for waiting. That is a moment for picking up the phone. Your rabbit cannot say, "Something is wrong." But the litter box can. The hay rack can. The way they're sitting can. You just have to be the kind of owner who reads those signals and trusts what you're seeing. So here's what I'll leave you with. Tonight before bed, take 30 seconds and just look, not at your rabbit's face, at their litter box, at their hay, at the way they're holding their body. Make it a quiet little habit, because the day something is wrong, that habit is the thing that will catch it early. And with rabbits, early is everything.